Hey everyone, this is Bill Krieger from the Veterans Archives podcast, where we preserve and share the incredible stories of our nation's heroes. Catch us every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wreaths Across America Radio, or stream anytime on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Really, anywhere you choose to get your podcast, you should be able to find us. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on social media to help us reach more veterans and supporters. We are a nonprofit, and this service is completely free for veterans. Every story matters, and every voice deserves to be heard. Spread the word, honor our heroes, and join us on this mission. Follow, share, and tune in, because their story should never be forgotten. Learn more at veteransarchives.org. We'll see you there. Today is Monday, August 18th, 2025. We're talking with Tim Kirn, who served in the United States Navy. So good afternoon, Tim.
Hi.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right, well, we'll start out simple. When and where were you born?
I was born in Wayne, Michigan, in Annapolis Hospital, and I grew up in Garden City, Michigan.
Okay.
Basically had a pretty decent childhood. So went to Lathers Elementary School.
Uh-huh.
And then from then I went to Cambridge Junior High, and then Garden City East High School.
Okay. Well,
So-
talk to me a little bit about growing up then. Did you have brothers and sisters?
Oh, yes. I have 5 brothers, and I have 2 sisters.
That's a lot of
So-
kids.
Yes.
Where do you fit in the pecking order?
I am 1, 2, 3rd from the last.
Okay. So did
So-
you do a lot of stuff with your brothers and sisters when you were younger?
I did a lot of stuff with my sisters. My brothers really didn't want us around because me and my next brother, who's about a year and a half younger than me, that's Ken, we were bothersome when they were having their parties. We would sneak down into the basement when they were having their parties in the basement. That's when the girls used to wear paper dresses and things like that
Yeah.
back in that era. So it was in the 60s, late 60s. I remember the Tigers winning the World Series.
Really?
Yep, and I know almost all the players, so I was.
So did you go to the game, or did you just watch it or listen to it?
We went downtown in the 1984 World Series. I was standing on the shoulders of my brothers, and just looking around. There was people galore. The police were on horseback. I didn't see anything bad down in Detroit, although
Yeah.
the newscast showed whatever bad stuff they could find. But that's not what it was like. It was pretty decent.
Uh-huh.
So,
Well, how was school for you?
school was good. I got pretty decent grades.
Mhm.
I ended up dropping out of school in the 10th grade because I kind of ran away with my girlfriend to Florida.
Okay. So you were, kind of a rebel at a very young age.
Yes, I was. I got in some trouble. I was I was a scoundrel sometimes.
Yeah. So how long did you stay in Florida?
I stayed in Florida for about a whole year. That's when I joined the United States Navy.
Okay.
I started out, we rented a trailer. It was $95 a month back then. And but there was no air conditioning, and it's hot in Florida.
Yes, it is.
So I went and got a job downtown Pensacola at a Scooby Subs, making subs. So I was in an air-conditioned building all day. And my
Yeah.
girlfriend, Karen, was at home in the trailer sweating. And that wasn't a good life for her at all. So
No.
I had to make arrangements to do something different. So I decided to join the Navy, and I went off to boot camp and
So where'd you go to boot camp?
went to boot camp in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
So it was
Not a lot of air conditioning during boot camp, was there?
no, but boot camp was pretty decent.
Yeah.
I cut the tip of my finger while I was in boot camp while we were cutting melons in half,
Right.
and they had to take me out to the hospital, which was good because I got to see all different kind of people.
Yeah.
Besides boot camp, but it was an experience.
Mm-hmm.
So
What was it like when you first got to boot camp? Was it what you were expecting or not?
a little rough. They shave your head and all that stuff when you
Uh-huh.
start, and issue you what you got to get issued, clothing and stuff like that. So um, I dealt with it, and I think I did pretty decent. So I ended up getting sent back by a week at the end, so I spent an extra week there. But the unit that I went to got a lot more medals and flags than the unit I came from. So, and I was part of that unit when they graduated. So,
yeah, not necessarily a bad thing, then.
not necessarily a bad thing. So.
No, not at all. And so, if you don't mind me asking, why did you get sent back?
When they held up the ranks of different officers and stuff like that, I didn't get one right. So, and if you fail, you fail. And then, so they sent me back a week, and I was, okay. But I learned them.
Right. You got them done, right?
Yep, I got them done after that. I didn't want to miss them again. So,
yeah.
It was maybe a senior chief or something like that I didn't get exact right when I seen the symbol for it. So.
Yeah. I still remember them now, though.
I remember a lot of them. So that's what I was telling you. My son joined the Army. I have no idea what the Army ranks are. I just know what the Navy is. And I know that, E1, E2, E3, and on are all the same for enlisted people, and he's enlisted. So.
Okay. All right. I do want to go back just a little bit, and if you don't mind, so we talked a little bit about childhood. Can you tell me a little bit about your parents, your mom and dad, and what they did and what they were like?
My dad worked at General Motors Hydromatics down in Willow Run area. He retired from there, worked there quite a few years, and he was working there the whole time. We used to go fishing all the time. My dad used to take me fishing all the time, so I'm an avid fisherman.
Yeah.
I love doing that. It kind of stopped after he got a little up there in age a little bit. So my mom didn't work until I was probably like an early teenager, and then she got a job working at Comfort Inn. I think it's Comfort Inn, one of the hotel chains.
Okay.
And she used to do the laundry, fold clothes. She met a lot of important people working there, that would fly into Detroit for one reason or another. And so that was interesting. So, but she was away a lot of the times, and basically I had a lot of freedom to do whatever I wanted to do, run around, and didn't have to check in like a lot of kids, like all my friends had to.
Right.
So, what do you got to check in for? I'm wasn't used to that, but I understand it now.
Right.
So
yeah, when you have your own kids.
Yes, I have my own kids.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just kind of wanted to cover that because we didn't really talk about it. So you get to boot camp, you make it through boot camp after that 1 week setback, and what happens next? Where do you go next?
Well, I asked for brother duty on the USS Nimitz because of my girlfriend, who I had run away with.
Right.
I had her go from Pensacola, Florida, where she was staying, to and the reason we were there was my brother. I had another brother that was in the Navy too.
Okay.
He was in Pensacola, stationed in Pensacola. So she was staying there for a while, and then I had her go to Norfolk, Virginia, where my other brother. One was Glenn, that was the first one. Skip was my oldest brother. He was in Norfolk.
Okay.
So I had her go to Norfolk, and so I got back about a week before I got out, which explains why I got sent back a week, I guess. She ended up getting caught and having to go back to Michigan.
Because she still wasn't 18 yet, right?
No, she was not. She was only 15 at the time.
Right.
So, and so she got caught, and then I had to go visit her whenever I got the chance, whenever I had any days off, and so that was a lot of driving back and forth. It's about 700-mile drive. So
yeah,
and her parents finally decided that they would go ahead and let me marry her, since we went through all what we went through.
Right.
So, and then so we got married the day after, or the week after she turned 16, and then I had 5 kids with her.
Wow.
So I've got my daughter Jennifer, the oldest, she was born in 1980, and then Melissa, born in 1983, and then we took a long break, and then Mark was born in 1992, and then Jessica was born in 1995, and then all of a sudden, the last one came in 2001, which she was more of a surprise, and that's Stacy.
Okay.
So,
And so how long were you married?
25 years.
Wow, it's a long time.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's go back a little bit though. So you get done with basic training, and then did you go on to other training, or did you just go to the fleet?
What I did was I went to as a just a regular recruit,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a not even an airman yet. I was just a regular recruit. Went on board the USS Nimitz. Well, when I got stationed on the Nimitz, they were making a movie called The Final Countdown.
Yeah.
So I was in one scene. So it was so quick though that I don't think you'd notice me now. During one of the general quarters, we all got up and ran. It was just part of the movie.
Yeah.
So, but I met Kurt Douglas and Catherine Ross and the little dog. and there was other people. I sat in the director's chair just like you're sitting in.
Uh-huh.
And because I think the son was the director and the dad was and one of the actors. He played the captain of the ship.
Okay.
So
Well, that's pretty exciting.
yes, it was real exciting. I like to watch the movie because everything I see in that movie is exactly as it was. You know, that movie is real. At least
I'm gonna
part
have to watch that movie again.
Yeah.
See if I can pick you out.
Oh yeah, I tried to do that. I tried to stop it, but I couldn't. It's so fast. You can't tell anyway. I was a lot smaller then than I am now. So
yeah, we all were, I think.
Yes.
Back in the day. So yeah, so you were a non-designated seaman at that point, or non-designated?
Yes, I was
airman.
a seaman recruit, and then I decided I was colorblind.
Okay.
So I had a choice of becoming a parachute rigger, or I could become a aviation storekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was about the only couple of ranks that I was allowed to become. So I decided to go into the aviation. So I became a airman recruit.
Uh-huh.
And after that, I became a third class petty officer as an aviation storekeeper.
Okay. And how long were you on the Nimitz for then?
Oh, quite a few years. I don't remember the exact dates, but I would say we went on 2 Mediterranean cruises, and we went to the Virgin Islands. Went to Fort Lauderdale, which was really exciting.
Yeah.
One of the best ports that I've been in. So, and I've been to a lot of ports. But we also stopped and I went to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Got baptized in the River Jordan. First time I was baptized. Baptized. Anyway, and then I went to Athens, Greece. I've seen all parts of Italy, Venice, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Cathedral in Rome. We went to England, and I've seen the London Bridge and the big clock tower.
Oh yeah, Big Ben.
Big Ben.
Yeah.
And went to Paris, seen the Eiffel Tower. The Rock of Gibraltar we passed by many times going through the little.
So did you get your Order of the Rock certificate? That's another one that's out there.
No, they didn't give me any kind of certificate for that.
Oh, well, that exists because I have one.
Well, then I need to ask them to get me that.
Yeah, you should find out.
I need to get it because I need to put my certificates in a frame. I got a bunch of them. We went across the equator, so we went through the shellback initiation.
Uh-huh.
And my brother was with me at the time. We had to dress up and as a polywog.
Mm-hmm.
You put your clothes on inside out, and you had to make a tail. So we made a tail. We all walked around with tails and stuff. And I remember all that part. I remember crawling around all the stuff. We've seen King Neptune, and you used to wash your face in grease.
Oh yeah, you got to kiss Neptune's belly, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was that. And
Yeah.
they would smash eggs on your back and stuff like that. Um, and then we would blow the pad eyes. Well, pad eyes are how you tie down the aircraft
Right.
to the deck. We would blow those out. You have to clean every one of them out, even though they were all cleaned 100 times already.
Right.
But we crawled around all over the place, and then we'd come to a final pool area, and they would ask you if you're a shellback or a polywog. If you said polywog, you had to start all over again.
Oh.
So, but you kind of learn that as you're going through from the people that have went through already.
Right.
So I didn't have to go through twice, because I said shellback, jumped in the water and cleaned yourself off as much as you can. And I was that. So I was a shellback. Now I got to walk around and be one of the bosses, I guess you'd call us, shellback. So I went over to my brother, who was still walking through, and I put an S on his back because I was just joking around. He was not happy. That means special case.
Yeah.
If there's some reason this guy messed up, so they bust more eggs on you and just treat you a little rougher.
I can imagine he'd be upset.
Yeah, he was upset. But I said it was just joking around.
Right.
So, but he got over it. So he, he probably would have done the same thing. He says, I would not have. So
pretty sure he would have. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we both ended up becoming shellbacks.
Oh, what a great experience.
There wasn't a celebration like that when we went across the Arctic Circle, but we did get a certificate called the Blue Nose certificate. So that's another certificate I earned. We spent 144 days at sea one time. We were on a Mediterranean cruise, and the captain came over to the speaker and said that we were extending our cruise.
Oh.
So we ended up spending 144 days at sea straight without seeing any land. I think the only thing we saw was a couple of rocks sticking out of the bottom of the ocean when we went around the Cape of Africa all the way down. And we sat in the Indian Ocean for a long time. And President Carter came aboard the ship, and I shook his hand, and he gave us all a warm beer.
I was going to say, you earned a beer, right? Because after so many days.
Yes, we earned a warm beer. So, which I'm not a beer drinker anyway. I'm not a drinker at all. So, but it was decent. So we used to have picnics up there on the flight deck and stuff like that.
So when you finished your time on the Nimitz, did you get out of the Navy then, or did you re-enlist?
When I got off the Nimitz, I went over and worked at Fleet Accounting and Dispersion Center for the Atlantic Fleet.
Yeah.
And I balanced the checkbooks for the Atlantic Fleet, different aircraft carriers, and going through, adding them up and subtracting them just to make sure they come out and they're always out of balance.
Always. No small task.
Right. It's no small task, but it's called Fantasyland. So when I first got orders there, I said, man, I'm going to Fantasyland.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. But I remember thinking that when I got stationed there. But that was a really interesting job. So so we did that. And then I think that's when I got out, and I ended up getting honorable discharge with immediate reenlistment into the TAR Navy. That's the Training and Administration of Reservists. So now my off days were Monday and Tuesday instead of Saturday and Sunday, so we can train the reservists all the time.
Right.
And we went on detachments and stuff. I was in Hell 4 helicopter squadron. Worked with the Rambo type helicopters, Hueys. So I ordered parts for them, and I'd expedited. That was my main job, is expediting, finding parts wherever I could find them. We went on detachment to Denmark. And I was sitting everybody was in civilian clothes, and I was sitting at a picnic over in Denmark, and I started talking to this one guy, and he ended up being the captain of the squadron.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, okay, So, but he was just a normal human being,
Just a regular guy, right?
Regular guy.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about if we knew anybody that lived overseas in this area, and my brother had a foreign exchange student. Can't remember her name right now, but she lived in the Netherlands.
Uh-huh.
So I was talking to him about that, and he asked me, "Do you want to go see her?" I said, "I don't know. I guess so. We could do that. If that's possible, that would be cool."
Yeah.
So I got the information of her address and stuff. So I never met them, and their parents don't speak any English, so that was an adventure. But what happened was we picked a day that we were going to go. This was just me and the captain talking.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then we got time the day to go, and I packed my sea bag with a few things and got ready to go. We were only going for one night, and so I go, and the warrant officer comes up and he says, "Where do you think you're going?" And I told him, "Well, I'm going to the Netherlands." And
Right.
The first class petty officer knew that my supervisor, and so he said, "No, you ain't going nowhere. You didn't follow the chain of command." I said, "He asked me. I didn't ask him." So about an hour after, they came and got me and said, "You can go as long as you can fit your stuff you can fit on the helicopter," because they're taking a bunch of Navy SEALs wherever they're supposed to go. So I went ahead and went over there, and they found a spot for my sea bag, and they got me, and I was sitting between the pilot and the co-pilot, looking down in this big bubble like glass.
Yeah.
Sitting there. And then so we took off, and we went, and so they flew to Germany first. We stopped to refuel in Germany. They dropped off all the SEALs in Germany, and then we took off and went towards the Netherlands, and they were looking for the spot, and they almost couldn't find it. But finally, we found a big X on like a football field.
Uh-huh.
And so he went ahead and landed there, and I jumped out of the helicopter and went running over to these people that I didn't know. And then the helicopter takes off. Sort of made me feel like I was James Bond or something. And then the next day, I just kind of roamed around the town and stuff like that. The girl that I was going to see, she was in school all the time. So that's all they do over there is go to school.
Right.
Almost 24 hours. So, but I slept in they're upstairs. It was a house just like I grew up in.
Yeah.
So there was windmills and stuff like that. I've never seen that. But anyway, the next day they brought me back to that same field, and a helicopter comes landing in, and I run over, jump in the helicopter, and they take me back. So it just made me feel pretty special for them to take the time out to do something like that. You know, just for visiting somebody. So it was great.
That's really cool.
Yep. Things I'll tell my grandkids about. So
yeah.
So
and you were married at this time, right? By now? Had you got married? Okay.
Yes, I was. Right. I was already married. This was I don't remember what year it was, but it was quite a few years after I enlisted, because I was already in the Tar Navy. And
now, had you made petty officer second class by now?
Yes, I was in the E5 for a longest time.
Yeah.
So kept trying to make E6, but I kept passing and not advancing.
Let's take a quick break.
Hey, listeners, we need your help to keep the Veterans Archives podcast going. We're a nonprofit dedicated to preserving the stories of our nation's heroes, and we provide this service completely free to veterans. Your support helps us record, share, and archive these incredible stories so future generations never forget the sacrifices made for our freedom. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. Visit veteransarchives.org to contribute today. Help us honor their service by ensuring their voices are heard. And thank you for your support, and thank you to all the veterans who have served our country. That test, man. PNA. I hate that. I hate those three letters. Yeah. So then, what year did you end up getting out of the service then?
I got out in 1984.
Okay. So the year after your...
No, excuse me. Got out in 1993. I'm sorry.
Okay. So all your kids are born by then, right? So you have all 5 of your kids. You get out, and so what did you do after?
No, I had I got out in 1993. I still had another girl born in 1995.
Okay.
My son was born. He was only a baby.
Okay.
And I had another daughter in 1995, and then I had my last daughter in 2001.
Oh, geez, I skipped 2.
Yes.
Oh, no. So,
those.
so what did you do once you got out of the military?
I got out of the military, and I ended up getting odd jobs. I worked at PVS Chemicals in downtown Detroit for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I was filling up trucks with it's called ferric chloride for sewage treatment plants.
Yeah.
So did a lot of that. It was a kind of a dirty job on the inside. They had dry powder stuff they made on the inside, and then they had a liquid. That's what I used to load the trucks up, work up on this beam, and it took a long time to load a truck up.
Yeah.
But, so I did that for a while, and then after that, I worked a couple little odd jobs here and there, and then I ended up getting a job at Daimler Chrysler, and I worked at Daimler Chrysler for 9 years, and then I took a buyout from Daimler Chrysler and ended up going on Social Security disability, and I've been on Social Security disability since then.
Okay. What did you do for Chrysler?
I worked as a spot welder, basically, pushed buttons.
Okay.
And they put the parts in. That's how I cut my hand really bad.
Oh.
I was walking up some stairs and slipped, and there was sheet metal parts.
Yeah.
And there was no railing to catch. So I grabbed the parts, and they just sliced right into my hand. I left a deer trail.
Oh, yeah. They could follow you to wherever you went. Right?
I went all the way to medical, which I was on the opposite end of the warehouse. So walked all the way, or the factory, all the way into medical, and they wrapped my hand up so tight that I thought my little finger was busted.
Right.
Because it just didn't have no blood going to it. But they stitched it up inside and out.
Yeah.
And so but I can use my hand. I can't bend it as much as I can this one.
Right.
But it works.
That's the important thing, right?
So, yep.
Yeah. So you did that for 9 years, and then now you're on Social Security disability,
and I've been on Social Security disability since.
Yep. And living here in Jackson and fishing and...
No, I was living in Garden City. Went back to Garden City for a while. Okay. And then after that, I got an apartment in Northville. I stayed in Northville for a year. And then I decided my mom passed away while I was away. And so she would have loved this house. I seen this house. I look out over a lake, and it's what I wanted my whole life.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I'm going to go for it. And so I went ahead and purchased a house using a VA loan. So, because I had no money for down payment or nothing like that. So to come up with a little bit of it, but we rolled it into the price of the house.
Yeah.
Also, plus they did concessions. And I got the house. So happy. It's a perfect size for me.
Yep.
So I got a bedroom that's never used. It's not much of a bedroom, but it's a bedroom that I never used. So we'll see. Things will all work out. So I started going to Northville Church. And it's a mega church. And I got baptized there. And I've got a lot closer to God and Jesus since. And now I go to Apostolic Church in Albion, Michigan.
Oh, is it apostolic?
Apostolic.
Yes, it's a hard word to say.
Yeah, you're right. I want to say apostles or something like that, but Apostolic Church in Christ Apostolic Church in Albion, Michigan. So I drive there at least every Sunday, sometimes on Wednesdays, and I attend church all the time there. And I did do a bunch of Bible studies. I did Crossroads Bible study Tier 1 and Tier 2. Tier 3 sits on my dresser, and it's a lot different than Tier 1 and Tier 2. So that's why it's still sitting on my dresser. So
Right.
a lot of reading in a different book. So, but it's that book plus the Bible. So, but I think I've been blessed with lots and lots of good things in my life.
Yeah.
Had some bad things in my life, but I think the good outweighs the bad anyway.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So, we've covered a lot of your life and things that you've done. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want to talk about?
I can't think of anything super special. I know I went to Israel and I walked the path that Jesus walked.
Yeah.
That's one of the things we did. And then I mentioned most of the places that I went. I might have missed a few of them. Venice, I don't know if I mentioned Venice.
Yep, you did. Italy and Venice. And
yeah.
What was the thing so back in the day, the Navy was join the Navy, see the world. And
yes.
It's true.
Yes, it is true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very true. The only thing I didn't get to see was I didn't go on any kind of a Westpac type cruise. I didn't get to go to Australia. I didn't go to Japan and Philippines and those kind of places, which I would have absolutely loved.
Right.
I already know I would have loved it. And so who knows what my future will bring, though. I might still get a chance to go to some of those places, too.
Well, that's true.
So,
well, then really, I just have one more question for you this afternoon. And that is, for someone who listens to this years from now, what message would you like to leave for people?
Well, join the Navy, see the world, number one.
Absolutely.
And it's actually a very good job. The Navy, to me, is better than the other services because we get to sit on the ship, and I know they said the Titanic was unsinkable, but these aircraft carriers are basically unsinkable, and if they do sink, then it didn't matter anyway.
Right, right.
So, but yes, it's a good. That's what more kids, teenagers need to do, is join as soon as possible, and lead a decent life for the rest of your life. I could have retired at 37 years old if I would have been wise, but
yeah. Oh, we all learn from our mistakes, right?
Yes. Yep.
All right. Well, Tim, thanks for taking time out this afternoon to sit and talk to me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Veterans Archives podcast. We truly appreciate you taking the time to listen and honor the incredible stories of our nation's heroes. Don't forget, you can catch us every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wreaths Across America Radio, or stream past episodes anytime on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and as I've said before, any place you can find a podcast, you can find the Veterans Archives podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share our content on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and across all social media. Every share helps us reach more people and preserve more stories. The Veterans Archives podcast is a nonprofit initiative, and our mission is simple: to give veterans a voice and ensure their stories are never forgotten. This service is completely free for veterans because their sacrifices deserve to be recognized and remembered. You want to help? Follow us, spread the word, and if you know a veteran with a story to tell, send them our way. Visit us at veteransarchives.org to learn more about how you can get involved. Thanks again for tuning in, and most importantly, thank you to all the veterans and their families for their service and sacrifice. Until next time, take care, and we will see you on the next episode of the Veterans Archives podcast.